Hello, everybody. I am the Bubble Bandit, and I might not be human. Today we are talking about Nier Replicant. So this is gonna get a little bit confusing just right off the bat, but I'm going to try and keep it as baseline as I can and to the best of my knowledge. So if anything's wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments. And do you know what? Actually, while you're down there, bit crazy, but there's a button right next to my name. It says subscribe. Click that button, and then once that's done, this little bell-shaped icon will appear. Click that, and you'll be given a list of options. And then click all, and that'll do me a huge favor. And then just to the right of that, there'll be a button that looks like this shape. Click that. That would be great if you could do that. And then after you've done all that, you can correct me in the comments all you want. But you don't get to do that if you didn't do those first 3 steps first. So just so you know, if you don't do that, then I will ignore what you say. So Nier Replicant is a Japanese game. This version, Nier Replicant version 1 point whatever the fuck, is a remake of the original Nier from Japan, because the one that the Western audiences got is a game called Nier Gestalt. Okay? Although I don't remember the Gestalt part, I just remember it being called Nier. And I remember wanting it as a child and not getting it. Cool. The reason there's 2 versions of the exact same game is because the main character in Nier Replicant is a little Twinkie boy for the first half, and in the second half he's a Twinkie man. Well, he's like 21. He's a young adult. And then Nier Gestalt that's a man. Like, he's fully grown man. He's ripped to shit, and typical warrior type being. I have not played Gestalt to this day, but I kind of want to see how much it compares to Nier Replicant. See what the similarities and the differences are, because apparently they are the exact same game, just with a different player model. And I'm curious because the Papa Nier, as he's called, the one from Gestalt, I can't see him doing any of the shit that he did, or that brother Nier, who's the Nier Replicant Nier, did. Okay? Apart from in the second half, I can't imagine how that story would play out, right? So I'm curious about playing it. So maybe at some point in the future I'll do a comparison video on the 2. Who knows? But for the time being, let's just talk about Replicant. Because like I said, this version is a remake of the original Japanese, but in English, and not entirely related to Gestalt, but also completely related to Gestalt. And in fact, there's 5 endings for this game. That means you do have to complete this game 5 times. But it's not that bad, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. After you complete your first ending, ending A, which is just play the game normally as you would, you will unlock something called Mother's Diary. And what happens is, when you interact with it in your home, Nier will say, like, oh, this is my mum's diary. I read it from time to time, but the ending gets a little bit weird, and then you're transported into this, like, dream world, right? Where you play as Papa Nier himself. So he is in the game, he is canon. For the Japanese as well, but, it is what it is. Anyway, you basically just have to go through 3 trials, and just kill a bunch of shades, which are the enemy for this game. And if after completing each one, you get a weapon for doing it, which is kind of fun, kind of cool. You will need those weapons if you want to get all of the endings. So I'll get into the endings in a little bit. But I find it weird you can play as Nier Gestalt, and the fact that his mother, Nier's mother, would have dreamt about the type of person Nier would become in the future without even knowing. So unless she's some kind of seer and knows the future, I don't know how she knew any of this stuff. And it's also weird that she was like, my son is going to be this big, strong, buff, shirtless hero that runs around with a magical book that flies and talks to him and casts spells. It's a little bit strange. But anyway, let's get on. Let's introduce you to the characters. So obviously, like I said, you have Nier. You've got two versions of Nier, in this game at least. You've got young brother Nier, and then Papa Nier. Okay? Those are the three Niers that you'll see in this game, but you'll mostly spend time with these two. Okay? The first half is the younger brother. Well, not the younger brother, the big brother when he's younger, and then the other brother. The normal big brother. Okay? See what I mean by this is confusing. I'm trying my best here. So, what he has to do is his little sister, Yona, she has a disease called the Black Scroll, which basically just is a possession, essentially. It's basically what it is. If you have the Black Scroll, you are possessed by shades. Okay? You with me so far? So, what he has to do is look after his sister whilst also going out into the world, doing quests for people, and also trying to uncover how to get rid and cure the Black Scroll. He goes on a mission sent to him by one of the village leaders, who's also like a parent to him, who's a woman called Popola. She also has a twin sister called Devila, and they're twins, so they look and sound the exact same, but I prefer Devila because she has cooler hair. Now, he goes up to this temple. Inside, he finds Yona because she went missing. And he also finds her being protected by two statues with a book in the middle. The book I mentioned earlier. This book is called Grimoire Weiss. Or if you don't speak German, Grimoire White. You set him free, you use him, he helps you with magic, and you become buddies. You then go together to a bunch of different places and make two new friends along the way. You become friends with Kaine, a 17-year-old girl who really should dress more, instead of just wearing, I guess, lingerie. Again, guys, Japanese, she's 17. Don't ask questions, just make sure you don't look, because she is a child. And you meet Emil, whose name is spelt Emil, and I will probably refer to him as Emil because that's the way his name is spelt. If they wanted to call him Emil, they need to put an E at the end. Just me saying that. If you think I'm wrong, then I hate to break it to you, but you just have a wrong opinion there. So, a little bit awkward. Anyway, the two, what makes Kaine and Emil so special is Kaine is also possessed by a shade, and I guess by that logic she technically also has the Black Scroll, but this shade can like fully take over her, fully possess her and all that shit. It's crazy. She's also just a bit of a badass warrior. One thing that I don't like about Kaine is she kind of doesn't really have a character arc, or at least not a strong one, because she's very standoffish to you when you first meet her, but when you learn her backstory, it's like, I understand why you're so standoffish, that's fine. But then, she never really adapts and becomes a different character. She always becomes this stony, cold-hearted, bitchy woman, really. She does honourable and noble things, but it never changes her, like, at all. That's just Kaine. And it's kind of annoying, because I wish she would grow as a character a bit more, and kind of show a bit more emotion. But she just never does, and it's really annoying. Especially when all the characters around her are like, we love and care about you, please don't die on us. We don't want to, like, do anything to hurt you. And she's like, whatever, you fucking bitch. Eat a dick, prick. And you're like, are we friends? are we friends like at all? Like I'm English. The way that or in Britain, in the UK in general, the way that we treat our friends is the more that we bully you, the more that we like you and care about you. But that wasn't that. You know, she's just being a cunt, to put it bluntly. Some people are into that though, so I guess. So you know, whatever. It's whatever. I'm not fussed too much. And Emil, he is this little boy who is blindfolded because if he looks at you, he can turn you to stone. He can petrify you. He's essentially Medusa, right? Come to find out later on that he is actually a weapon. He's called Number 7, and his sister, who is Number 6. We're not doing it. I did it backwards for a reason. She is also a weapon, and they need to reunite together to become a stronger weapon that they need to defeat the Shade. The big bad is the Shadow Lord, that's who they need to defeat. He's in charge of basically taking everything over. He kidnaps Yona, and then Nier spends the next 5 years of his life trying to find her while growing stronger. The typical anime arc. You know this. If you've watched an anime that isn't a slice of life, you know what I'm talking about. I need to be stronger. That type of shit. You know, he actually does say I need to be stronger quite a few times. And yeah, I barely touched Grimoire Vice. I mean, he's a book. You know, he's a book. He's very sarcastic, and he likes to call Kaine a hussy, which I think is quite funny. But Kaine and Vice don't really get on, but they also do get on. It's that's closer. The relationship between Kaine and Grimoire Vice is closer to how Brits treat their friends than anything else. So Kaine just didn't get the memo, I guess. I guess that's what's going on there. I will talk about the endings, but I don't want to spoil it because, to be honest, I really think you should play Nier Replicant, especially if you're interested in playing Nier Automata or Automata, however you pronounce it. I feel like you should play Nier Replicant first. I haven't gotten round to playing Automata yet, or Automata, but now that this video is done, I can and I will. So that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, you should play it because it is a prequel to Automata. So to kind of get a bit of an understanding, even if you've already played Nier Automata, you should probably go back and play Replicant. And if you're interested, maybe try out Gestalt as well. Not that I know if it's worth the time. There's also like just a whole bunch of fun other characters that will help you along the way, that you will meet. Some of them more helpful than others. Some of them are just kind of meh. And there's also side characters that you get from side quests that you can meet that are interesting and quirky and fun. And there's also, I will say, these side quests, just fetch quests. Every single one of them is just a fetch quest. Go here, get that, come back. Sometimes it's go here, get that, come back. Great, now that you're back, I need you to go somewhere else to get that. And it's... Oh. But unfortunately, some of them you do have to do. Because after you've got an ending A, which again, let's just play the game normally. You then go on to ending B, which again, play the game normally, just as you would. And then for ending C and ending D, you will have to collect every single weapon in the game, which is 33 weapons. Luckily for you, most of them you can just buy from shops. But that, you know, doing that requires you to do side quests to get money to buy the swords. And you'll also need to buy them in Act 1, which is where you play as the younger brother, and as well in Act 2. But I'm pretty sure if you don't, you can all just get them in Act 2 anyway, so don't worry about it. And there are other swords that you need to get from doing quests, as well as you can just find them out and about. But look up a guide. I would recommend doing that, because some of them are very easily missed. So yeah, there's that. But once you've got those swords, again, just play the game normally as you would, get to the ending. Before you get to the final boss area, save. Make a brand new save. and then once you complete ending C, reload that save, and then do ending D. The way that you will need to do this, okay, is there will be a character for ending C and D, where you have to make a choice. You either kill them or sacrifice yourself. To get ending C, you want to kill them. Okay, it's very important that you do C first. And then ending D, you sacrifice yourself. Now, the reason why you should do C first is because when you do D, everything gets deleted. Your entire save file is removed and you watch it all happen. Everything you spent time collecting, every single piece of information you picked up, every spell, every weapon gets deleted. But what you then do to get ending E is start a new game, label the game save a different name, very important, label it a different name, and play through the entire game again until you have to go to a village called the Airy for a second time, okay, to fight this giant boss. That will then put you on a different branch for the game, and then the rest of the game after that is like 2.5 hours before you get the E ending. So realistically, you have to play the game, I guess, like 4.5 times. So it's not too bad, but it can feel like a slog. I won't lie to you. It can feel very much like a slog having to do the same missions over and over again. At least having to do them 3 times. But once you finish ending A, ending B won't start you at the very beginning of the game. It will start you from the time skip, where Nier goes from being a little boy to a young adult. So that's kind of it. So you play the full game the first time. The second game you play from the second half, and then the third game you play from the second half, as well as the fourth game, I guess, you just play from the save file. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about in this game that it's kind of hard to not go into spoilers for. But as well, I do also want to mention that the Nier universe is related to a separate game series called Drakengard, which has at least 3 games that I'm aware of. And while they aren't the same game or like related, they are in the same universe. So if you want the full Nier experience, you should play Drakengard 1, 2, 3, Replicant, Automata, which I don't have time to do that. And I don't even know where I could get my hands on a copy of Drakengard, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there's a hell of a lot to this game, and I like doing these videos spoiler free, so that if any of what I say or anything that you see interests you, you can just pick it up and play it yourself. If you're not feeling completely enticed by what you've seen so far, I will say, having played this game, the vibe is very much The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, considering, little boy, grown man, you've got all that stuff going on. And I also got vibes from the game Fable. If anyone has played Fable, if you haven't, you should. Although it might be a little bit hard unless you're fine with emulating, because the only one that you can get is Fable Anniversary and Fable The Lost Chapters, which are the 2 different versions of the first game. And then there's 2 and 3, which are exclusive to Xbox, and there is no PC port. So even if you have Xbox Game Pass on PC, it won't be on there, because it's just not on there. You might be able to buy it in the store, but I don't think you will, because there is no PC port, like I said. So learn how to emulate if you do want to play them. Honestly, I would just say you could just play Fable 2 and call it there. But if you like the whole fantasy RPG thing that's got a little bit of silliness, then I would suggest playing 1, 2, and 3, especially with the newest Fable on the way. which I'm curious about. I wouldn't say I'm excited for, but I'm definitely curious, and I probably will try it out because I've spent a lot of time playing Fable games as a kid. So yeah, if any of those games interest you, maybe just play Nier Replicant because it is good fun. Like I say, it's a bit of a slog at times, but ultimately it is a fun game. And you've seen 2B around everywhere. I'm sure you have. So play the game that came before, and also this phase. Um, it starts here. So if you like that little guy, then find out more about him through Nier Replicant because he is in this game. And like I said, I haven't played Automata, but I assume he's in that one too. So yeah, I kind of think that's everything I want to say. I don't really know how else to go forward with this without spoiling anything for you. So yeah, I guess we'll end it here. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I didn't bore you too much, and I hope you managed to stay along the timeline with me, because like I said, it's not an easy thing to wrap your head around. But yeah, I'll I'll see you later. Hope you have a good day. Bye.